Hey there, English speakers. How's it going? Hey there, English speakers. How's it going? How are you? How are you? I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. I had a busy week, but a good week. A busy but productive week. How about you? How about you? How was your week? What did you do? We're on Friday. Happy Friday. By the way, it's Friday, September 30th. So happy Friday. What are you going to do this weekend? Do you have any plans? Do you have any plans this weekend? Let's see. I don't know specifically what I'm doing this weekend, but I had a good week and a good week of work, a good week of play, a good week with family, a good week all around. How about you? What's going on this week? I just today actually watched some of the presidential debate of the United States, the United States presidential debate, and it was interesting. I'll say that it was interesting because it's such a spectacle now. The presidential debate is such a spectacle, and if you're looking in terms of being informed, it's not very productive, I don't think. But it is what it is. That's what we say. It is what it is, and if you look at it as a spectacle, it's quite impressive as far as a form of entertainment. They've really brought the entertainment aspect into it. And it may have dumbed it down quite a bit. Dumbed it down. If you dumb something down, it's a phrasal verb. If you dumb something down, it means you make it less intelligent. You make it, I was trying to find a politically correct, a proper way to say that. You make it less intelligent. You take the intelligence out. It looks like I have a bad stream here, so I don't know. I have to figure out these glitches. I have to figure out, I need to contact the webcast, Wirecast Play, and ask them how to fix this problem, if it's their problem. If you're listening to me and you have any suggestions on which programs work best to stream something, then let me know. Tweet me or send me on Facebook. Let me know, because this is a learning process. We're only on episode 9, so this is a learning process. If you're listening, let me know what I'm doing wrong to have this choppy stream. Why do I have this choppy stream? Let me know. Is there something I can do on the settings? Is there something that I can do to contact Wirecast? Is it on YouTube's end? Or should I get a new encoder? Let me know. But going back to the presidential debate, it kind of looked like a sport almost, which I don't really like, because there's this idea now that well, I don't like candidate A, so I guess I'll vote candidate B. I'll support candidate B, sometimes even strongly. But I think there's a flaw in that thinking, because just because I don't like this option doesn't mean I have to be supportive and fully supportive and behind this option. We need something else. We need a different kind of mentality, a different kind of thinking. And I don't know who I'm supporting. I'm not supporting either main candidate. And if I were living in the United States, and I may fill out an absentee ballot, but I really don't know, because look at the options. And just because you may not like or you may be afraid of one, does that mean you have to be supportive of the other? I don't think so. But I think together we can think of another option. and we can make another option possible. It'll have to start because we all have different strengths and weaknesses. It'll have to start with a group of people with certain strengths that others don't have to get the ball rolling, to think in terms of another option, to think in terms of what we can do to have a more moderate view and a more moderate election. And moderate in terms of, does it have to be so extreme? That's a good format if you propose a question when you're saying something. Does it have to be? Does it have to be? Is it necessary? Does it have to be so extreme? I don't know. Maybe so. But it was very interesting as far as entertainment, and I enjoyed it in that. What else happened this week? I ride my bike to work. I used to ride the bus to work, but to take the bus to work, I would have to get up early, and then I would have to walk to the bus stop. And then sometimes I would make a bus. If I missed the one bus, I would have to wait until the next bus came. So that made me late. Well, it didn't make me late because I always left early, but it could have made me late. So now I think I ride the bike because I have more control of my time. I just used to and would. We're going to study that today. But as I was riding my bike to work one day this week, I think it was Wednesday. No, it was yesterday. As I was riding my bike to work yesterday, I leave at 7 a.m., so it's still dark outside. I'm riding to work, and there's not many people out at 7 a.m. And I was on the bike path. The lane that you ride your bicycle, if your town has a lane specifically for bikes, a road specifically for bikes, it's called the bike lane or the bike path. Bike lane, bike path. You can use either one. But I was in the bike path, and there was another bicycle coming my way, coming in my direction. And I saw him up ahead, and I saw that he was on his bicycle and he was texting somebody on his phone. And I saw him coming, and I saw him slowly coming into my lane. The lanes are your side of the road. So that's in the bike lane, my bike lane, your bike lane. Or in a car, the car lane goes this direction or this direction. Your spot, your zone is your lane. So he was coming into my lane slowly, still texting, not even looking up. Until he came so close to me, I thought he was going to look up, and I had to yell. I said, "Yo!" And he looked up. Just in time, I swerved. Swerved is moving. Moving your car or moving your vehicle to move, to miss something, right? This kind of action. Swerve. Swerve. It's also used to mean like con, a more figurative way. To con somebody. I signed that deal. It was a bad deal. They didn't give me my product. They swerved me. They conned me. They tricked me out of money and basically stole my money. If somebody lies to you or cons you, they swerve you. It means go around you to continue. And that's what you do if you see something in the middle of the road. You swerve to miss it. You swerve to miss it. You swerve to miss it. So I swerved a little bit, but our handlebars were, they hit each other. His handlebar hit my handlebar, but because I was prepared, I didn't fall. He fell a little bit, and he apologized. I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, sentence starter from last week. Do you remember? I mean, what else are you going to do? Of course he apologized. And That could have turned out a lot worse. So it's a pet peeve of mine. A pet peeve is something that bothers you very much. A pet peeve of mine is people walking and texting at the same time. That's one. That's a pet peeve of mine. Riding a bicycle, having any sort of fast wheels like roller skating while texting, and especially driving while texting is just irresponsible. It's not a pet peeve, it's just irresponsible and dangerous. So please, if you're riding a bicycle, don't text. If you're driving, please don't text. It's so very dangerous. Imagine, would you ever close your eyes and drive for the amount of time that you look down at a message? How long does it take you to read a message? Open up your phone. Open up your phone and whatever your chat app you use, WhatsApp, Facebook chat, your text messages, Kakao Talk, whatever form of communication you normally use, open it up to a random text message. And look down and count how long does it take you to look at that and process it. Maybe 2 seconds? Okay. Would you drive a car or would you ride a bike, and especially driving a car, and close your eyes for 2 seconds? Would you feel comfortable doing that? Now, take the time it takes to not pay attention and open up the chatting app and then look and read the text message. That might be 5 seconds. So now you're closing your eyes for 5 seconds while driving a car, or while riding a bike, or riding a skateboard, or even walking. It's irresponsible and it's dangerous for those around you. So please don't text and drive. Seems pretty common sense. Common sense. Okay, today we're gonna talk about would and used to. So, I talked about would and used to in my open of the show. I talked about how I used to ride the bus and I would have to wait if I missed the bus. Would is another way to talk about the past. Let's take a look a little more closely. You've probably learned, it's basic, intermediate level stuff to talk about and learn and use used to describe your past habits, actions, and states. I used to ride the bus to work. I used to live in the United States, but I don't anymore. Normally, used to implies that you don't do that action anymore. It doesn't have to. I used to like broccoli, and I still do. So, but typically, if you just have I used to, it implies that you don't do it anymore. Would also talks about past habits. I used to bite my nails. That's a bad habit. I used to do my homework on the weekends when I was in university. That's an example. I used to wake up and watch wrestling every Saturday morning when I was a kid. I used to. That's a past habit. Every Saturday morning, I would wake up and watch wrestling on Saturday mornings. That's would. Every Saturday morning, I would wake up and eat a bowl of cereal, and I would watch wrestling starting at 9 o'clock. I would do that. That's a past habit and a past action that I used to do. The states, that's more used with used to. The states are more used with used to. So state verbs like love, want, things that you can't, things that you're not doing, things that you're not doing an action to. Oh yeah, well, love is an action word. Yeah, I know. But this is English. So state verbs are mostly used with used to. And if you've studied used to and would in an academy or in your school, your teacher probably told you, or if you've looked in a grammar book, your teacher probably told you, or the grammar book probably told you, that used to is used for state verbs and would's not used for state verbs. That's not exactly true, because it depends. Like much of English, like much of language in general, it depends. It depends on context. Context is king. Context is king. So we can have I used to love chocolate. I used to love chocolate. I used to eat Nutella all the time. I don't now because I can't buy it, because I would, well, that's a conditional would, I would eat it. So I used to eat Nutella all the time. That's a state. Or I used to love Nutella. That's a state. I would love Nutella? No, right? I used to fall in love so easily when I was in high school. I used to fall in love. No, that's not a good example. See, that's why I can't think. That's why it's bad that the stream's like this, because I think that I'm recording. Anyway, the more important thing to learn about used to and would is the general. Used to is talking about general things in the past. And would, you're talking about the details. So if you're talking about something you used to do, let's take a big category. Something you used to do. I used to do jujitsu, train jujitsu. I'm going to start again, but I used to train jujitsu. That's in the past. I used to do that. I used to train jujitsu. When I arrived at jujitsu practice, I would goes in the used to. That's the details. I would change and then I would stretch. And then we would start class and we would start to roll. So after we started to roll and did the warm-ups, we learned a technique, and then we would spar. And we would do some, well, it's called sparring. It's like loose fighting, right, with your teammate, so train. But I used to do this. While I was there, I would do this action, I would do this, I would do that, I would do this, right? So that's the main difference of how we use used to and would. Used to is usually used for the big categories. Would is usually used for the details within that category. Let's look at another example. When I was younger, I used to go to the country, go into the woods and go camping with my family. When we were camping, we would go fishing, we would climb trees, we would dig for things, we would do all these things. Okay? So, this is used to and would. This is the key difference. Yeah, they're both used for the same thing. Used to is used for state verbs a little more than would. Like you wouldn't say, I would live in this house when I was a kid. No. I used to live. I used to be. Normally to be verbs, the to be is used with used to. But if it's within the story, you can use would too. So for example, I used to like Shannon when I was a kid. A name. I used to like her when I was a kid. But when I was a kid, I would like many different girls, and it changed every day. So you can use state verbs sometimes with would. You can use would with state verbs, but they have to be in the details of the story. Okay? All right. Let's go to your assignment. I'm going to give you your assignment so you can practice this week. And you're going to do pretty much what I just did. You're going to yes. I want you to think about something that you used to do when you were younger. And I want you to think about it. I want you to think about one specific thing, one specific activity, whether it was a sport or an after-school class or an art, you had an art hobby or whatever hobby, sport, thing you learned. What did you used to do? Think of something very specific that you used to do when you were younger. What was it? What did you used to do? This means the general thing. You used to play a sport. For example, in the United States, again, in the United States, I used to be in the rodeo. I used to ride in the rodeo. I don't anymore, but I used to ride in the rodeo. That's what I used to do. That's what I want you to do. That's what I'm talking about. What did you used to do? So what was it you used to do? And what would you do during that time? So I used to join the rodeo. So I used to be in the rodeo. And when I was in the rodeo, I would get all of my gear ready. I would arrive early. I would get my rope on my bull when it came in the chute. I would tie my rope on my bull. I would get on top of the bull when it was my turn to go, and then when it was time to leave, I would nod my head and we would start the ride. Normally I would fall off too. I would always fall off because I wasn't very good. So this is your assignment. Tell me about something that you did when you were younger, and tell me what you would do while that was happening, while you were doing that. So that's your assignment. And I hope you learned something new. Used to, would, they're very natural expressions. Very natural, and it will really boost your fluency. Boost means raise and improve or increase a lot in a short time. Using these effectively and practicing them, like with your assignment, will really help boost your fluency. Okay. The video quality, I have to figure out how to get this better. I have to figure out how to make this better. So anyway. Facebook? Nope. Twitter? Oh, maybe. It might be my computer problem too. Is it my computer problem? Nope. So I need to figure out, I might put some live stream videos on here this week just to test different things, because this is getting ridiculous. I can't continue to produce live streams like this for you. I just can't do it. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for watching. Join this week. I'll be editing and putting up the edited versions and the modified versions of this class, so that should probably help you. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.